Solve a system of equations in 3 variables. The first thing you have to do is choose a variable to eliminate. It's your choice, the x's, the y's, or the z's. I'm going to choose the top 2 equations, and I'm going to eliminate the x variable. If I do that, then this positive 2 would need to cancel with a negative 2. So I'm going to take a negative 2 and distribute it through that entire top equation. That gives me negative 2x minus 2y minus 2z is equal to negative 10. This middle equation, just bring it over just like it is. And then once you do, you're going to take those 2 equations and put them together with the x's canceling. You get negative 9y minus 5z is equal to 3. That's what I'll call our first star equation. Next, you have to eliminate the same variable. You have to use the one you haven't used yet, which is the bottom equation. I'm going to choose the bottom equation and the top equation and eliminate x again. You want to make sure that these match. If these match, then your star equations are going to match. So in order to knock this positive 3 out, we're going to need a negative 3 on the top equation. So take the negative 3 and distribute it to the top equation, giving you negative 3x minus 3y minus 3z is equal to negative 15. The bottom equation, you're just going to bring it down just as is. Then you're going to take these 2 equations and put those together at face value. Your x's cancel. Negative 5y plus z is equal to negative 21. We're going to call that our second star equation. Now what you want to do is put the 2 star equations together. So choose a variable, the y's or the z's, to eliminate. I think those z's will be easier. So if this is a negative 5, this needs to be a positive 5. So we will multiply that star equation by 5. That's going to give me negative 25y plus 5z is equal to negative 105. This star equation, just bring it like you see it. So put those together with the z's eliminating. That's going to give you negative 34y is equal to negative 102. Divide by your negative 34 and y is equal to positive 3. That's your first answer. Now what you're going to do once you get the first answer is take that answer, go to one of the 2 star equations, and plug it in for wherever you see the y. I think that I'm going to go to this bottom one right here. So what I will do is I will say negative 5, but where the y is, I'll put 3 plus z is equal to negative 21. Negative 15 plus z is negative 21. Add your 15 to both sides, and when you do, you're going to get z is equal to negative 6. That's your second answer. Once you get 2 of the answers, you're going to take those 2 right there and go plug it into any one of the original 3 problems on the page. I think the top equation looks like the easiest, so that's where I'm going to plug it in. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say x plus y, which is 3, plus z, which is negative 6, equals 5. That says x minus 3 is equal to 5. Add your 3 over, and x is equal to 8. Some teachers like that written as an ordered triple. So X, Y, Z. And it goes in order, X, Y, Z. Now, you can check these problems. What you would do in order to check is you're going to take your X, your Y, and your Z. You're going to go back to the original three equations, and you're going to plug them in. 8 plus 3 plus negative 6, and hit equals, and you get 5. Then do the same for the next one. 2 times 8 minus 7 times 3 minus 3 times negative 6, and it equals 13. Lastly, 3 times 8 minus 2 times 3 plus 4 times negative 6, and it does equal negative 6. It must check in all three in order to be a solution. Okay, let's take a look at our second problem. Once again, you must choose a variable to eliminate. It is completely your choice, whichever one you choose. I think that I'm going to eliminate the z's this time. I'm going to take the bottom two equations and eliminate z. If this is a positive 2, then this needs to be a negative 2. I already have the negative, so all we need to do is supply the 2 that will distribute to every single person. So this middle equation, just bring it over just like you see it. Negative 3x plus 5y plus 2z is equal to negative 27. And then the bottom equation, you're going to have 2 times negative 5 is negative 10x. 2 times 3 is 6y. 2 times negative z is negative 2z. And 2 times negative 17 is going to be negative 34. Okay, let's put those two equations with the z's canceling. So negative 13x plus 11y is equal to negative 61. We're going to call that our first star equation. Just as before, we've got to eliminate the same variable. So if I eliminated z the last time, I must eliminate z again using the one I haven't used in any other equation. I'm going to use that bottom equation. Once again, very important that eliminating those match so that our stars can match. So what I'm going to do is see that this is a negative 5, so this needs to turn into a positive 5. So what I will need to do is multiply by negative 5, because I need a negative 5 times a negative to turn into a positive 5. Take this top equation and write it just like you see it. 2x plus 4y minus 5z is equal to 18. The bottom equation, that's going to turn into negative times negative is positive 25x. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15y. Negative 5 times negative is going to be a positive 5z. And negative 5 times negative 17 is a positive 85. All right, my z's are going to cancel. That gives me 27x minus 11y is equal to 103. We're going to call that our second star equation. Now, just as before, take your two star equations and put those together. It appears that you've already got a negative 11 and a positive 11 to cancel out. So let's use those. So just copy this equation just like it is. Copy this other star equation just like it is. Put those together so I know that my y's are going to cancel. Negative 13 plus 27 is 14x. Negative 61 and positive 103 is 42. Divide by your 14 and you get x is equal to 3. Once you have that first answer, you're going to take that 3 and go plug it into either one of the two star equations. You can plug it in right here, or you can plug it in right there. It's completely your choice. I think I'm going to go to the negative 13 one right here. So I will say negative 13, but where the x is, I'll put 3 plus 11y is equal to negative 61. So that's negative 39 plus 11y equals negative 61. Add your 39 to both sides. So I get 11y is equal to negative 22. And if I divide by 11, I'm going to get y is negative 2. Now, just as before, we're going to take this x and this y and go back to one of the original equations. Again, completely your choice. I believe I'm going to go to this bottom equation, and I'm going to put the 3 in for the x, and I'm going to put in the negative 2 for the y. So that's going to give me negative 5, but where the x is, I'm going to put a 3, plus 3, but where the y is, put in your negative 2, minus z is equal to negative 17. So negative 15 minus 6 minus z is equal to negative 17. Collect your like terms. Negative 21 minus z is negative 17. Add your 21 over. Then negative z, make sure you keep your face with your body. Don't lose that sign. So negative 17 and 21 is 4, but then I will divide by negative 1, and z is negative 4. And we can write that as an ordered triple, and we would say x, y, and z. Don't forget, if you want to check, you surely can. You go back to the originals, and you'll say 2 times 3 plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5 times negative 4, and 18 pops out. Then negative 3 times 3 plus 5 times negative 2 plus 2 times negative 4, and 27 is there. Negative 5 times 3 plus 3 times negative 2 minus a minus 4, and sure enough, it does equal 17. Okay, let's take a look at example 3. On example 3, again, we must choose a variable to eliminate. Again, completely your choice. I think I'll choose the x's. So I'm going to take this top equation and eliminate x. If that's a positive 2, then I need to make that a negative 2. So I'm going to bring this top one over. 2x plus y minus 3z is equal to 5. Here, negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4y. Negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 8z. Sorry, that's negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8z, equals negative 2 times 7 is negative 14. Those are going to cancel. Negative 3y plus 5z is equal to negative 9. And that is our first star equation. All right, let's get another star equation. Since I eliminated x the first time, I have to eliminate x the second time. I'm going to use the one I haven't used yet, which is the bottom equation. And I think I'll use the bottom and the middle equation and eliminate x. Again, these right here, got to match. Eliminate x once, then you have to eliminate x twice. If this is a 6, that needs to be multiplied by a negative 6. So that negative 6 will come on through to everybody. When that does, I'll have negative 6 times x negative 6x. Negative 6 times 2 is negative 12y. Negative 6 times negative 4, positive 24z. And negative 6 times 7 is negative 42. All right, the bottom equation, just bring it down like you see it. 6x plus 3y minus 9z is equal to 15. The x's cancel, and I have negative 9y, and then plus 15z is equal to negative 27. And that is our second star equation. All right, we're going to take the two stars and put those together. You can choose which variable to eliminate. I'll probably just eliminate those y's. If this is a negative 9, then this needs to be a positive 9, which means I would need to multiply that by negative 3, so that negative 3 times negative 3 will give me positive 9y. So let's distribute that through. I will have positive 9y minus 15z is equal to 27. Copy this one over just like you see it. And when I did, my goal was to eliminate the y's, which I did, but it just so happens the z's eliminate too. So there's nothing left. It is just a 0. Over here, 27 and negative 27 also eliminate. So it's just another 0. 0 equals 0 is very definitely a true statement. When you get a true statement, what that means is that you have infinitely many solutions. It's not true like a true-false test, but it's infinitely many solutions because you got a true statement. Okay, let's look at example 4. On example 4, as in all the previous examples, we've got to choose a variable to eliminate. I think I'll take these bottom two equations and I will eliminate y. So if this is a 2, this needs to be negative 2. So I've got the negative, I just need to supply a 2. So I'll take that 2 and distribute it through, and when I do, I'll have 2 times 2, which is 4x. 2 times negative y is negative 2y. 2 times negative z is negative 2z. And 2 times negative 21 is negative 42. Bring the bottom equation over just like it is. And so when I do that, I'm going to have 9x. The y's do eliminate as we intended, but the z's happen to eliminate as well. So I get 9x is equal to negative 63. I'm allowed to divide by 9 and just go ahead, and I already got an answer, x equals 7. We thought we were going to get a star equation, but we got an answer. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. If it does, you need to just stick with the plan. Just do what you were originally going to do anyway, which means if I eliminated y, I have to eliminate y again. You must use the one you have not used yet, which is the top. I think I'll use the top and the middle. Those seem to be the easier of the numbers. Again, we want those to match. We're sticking with this plan. So if this is a positive 9, I need for this to be a negative 9. I already have the negative, so let's just multiply by a 9 to everybody. So when I do, that's 9 times 2, which is 18x. 9 times negative y is negative 9y. 9 times negative z is negative 9z. And 9 times negative 21 is negative 189. Top equation, bring it over just like you see it, trying to get those y's to eliminate. as they do. So then that's going to give me 18 plus 5, which is 23x. Negative 9 plus 1 is negative 8z, is equal to negative 169. That is truly a star equation. So what we want to do at this point is, since we already have this answer, which we typically go put into a star equation, that's what we're going to do. Just go put it into the only star equation that you have. So when I do that, I'll have 23, but where the x is, I'm going to put negative 7 minus 8z is equal to negative 169. So then I'm going to say 23 times negative 7, which is negative 161, minus 8z is equal to negative 169. Add your 161 to both sides. That's negative 8z. Make sure you're bringing your signs down. Keep those faces with those bodies. Then negative 169 plus 161 is negative 8. Divide by a negative 8, and z is positive 1. Now that you got two answers, you're going to take these two answers and go plug them into one of the three original equations. It is completely your choice. I think I'll go to this bottom equation. I will plug that in for x, that in for z, and I will solve for my y. So 5, but where the x is, I'll put negative 7 plus 2y plus 2z is equal to negative 21. So that's negative 35 plus 2y plus 2 equals negative 21. Put your like terms together. So negative 33 plus 2y is equal to negative 21. Add your 33 over. And so I have 2y is equal to positive 12. Divide by 2. X is equal to 6. And we can write that as a triple of x, y, and z. Don't forget, you can check your answers if you want to. Okay, on this last equation, so let's take a look at what we've got here. If you look at this, do you notice that you already have a star equation? It's already a star equation because it just has two variables. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that as a star equation, noticing that the y is what's gone. So if y is the one that's gone, or is the one that's eliminated, I need to eliminate y again. So take your top two equations and eliminate your y. So if that's negative 3, I need to multiply this top by a positive 3. So 3 times negative 2x is negative 6x. 3 times y is 3y. 3 times negative z is negative 3z. And 3 times 2 is equal to 6. The second equation, just bring it over just as it appears. Put those two together. The y's eliminate, and that's going to give me negative 7x minus 2z is equal to negative 4. And there's my second star equation. Now take the two star equations and put those together and choose whichever variable you want to eliminate. I think I'll eliminate those z's. If this is a positive 6, this needs to be a negative 6. He's already a negative, but if I'll multiply him by 3, then I will have what I need. I'll have negative 6. So this equation gets copied over as is. Just bring that star equation like it is. 3x plus 6z is equal to negative 24. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21x. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6z. And 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Those are going to cancel. And I'm going to have 3 minus 21, which is negative 18x, equals negative 36. Divide by your negative 18, and x is equal to positive 2. All right, once you have the first answer, remember that you're going to take that answer, x is 2, and go plug it into either one of the two star equations. It does not matter. You choose the one you want to. I think I'll go to this one right here, the 3x. So I'll say 3, but where x is 2, plus 6z is equal to negative 24. 6 plus 6z is equal to negative 24. Subtract your 6. 6z is equal to negative 30, and z is equal to negative 5. Now, take the two answers that you have previously gotten, go back to any one of the originals that you want to. I think I'll go to the top one up here. So I will say put a 2 in right there, put a negative 5 in right there, and that will allow me to solve for y. So going back up there to that top, I'll say negative 2, but times x is 2, plus y, minus, be careful, a minus 5 is equal to 2. Those two negatives make a positive. Remember, math class is the only time in life where two wrongs make a right. So negative 4 plus y plus 5 is equal to 2. And that's going to give me 1 plus y equals 2. Subtract your 1, and y is equal to 1. So I've got my answer as an ordered triple, if that's the way my teacher wants it, as an x, y, and z, always in that order. Again, you can check your answers if you want to. If you need more practice on solving systems of equations in 3 variables, be sure to watch my practice worksheet video on this topic. There you can watch me work more examples. You can even pause the video, try the problem on your own, and then start the video back to check your answer. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. This allows me to continue to grow the channel so that I can help build your math esteem one problem at a time. See you later.